Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lorraine Taylor and I'm delighted that you've joined us here today. This is the Do Brand You channel if you're new here, and it aims to support you in becoming the best version of yourself, both personally and professionally. I know that's challenging to do in a world that keeps changing and we keep going through the different seasons in our life. But this is what we do at the channel, is support you to use your unique talents and skills so that you can live the best version of yourself and adding value to other people. You might be a solo business owner, you might be a small business owner, an entrepreneur, a content creator, or just a problem solver, somebody that just wants to, solve problems that they see and create value, and you're building your personal brand through that. Whoever you are, we're here to support you, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, invest in yourself, and make sure you keep getting the updates. But let's get into what this whole episode is about. It's something that's near and dear to my heart. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and that is your community. I did a recent video a little while ago. I'll put the link to it in the show notes. About you as a personal brand are not somebody that just stands alone, but you are surrounded by the people that you are serving, the people that you are adding value to, the people that you are creating products and services for. And those people are your community. This is so important today in a world where we need to show our authenticity, and a personal brand can really show their authenticity through the people that they surround themselves with, and that is your community. So you are catering to a group of people, and they rely on your expertise. We now today have an opportunity to create, to nurture, and to grow online communities in our digital spaces. Now, I know that some of you may have already started an online community, like myself. I've had one going for a few years now. Or you might just be sitting there thinking, this is something I know, it's what I want to do, it's in my future, I'm still thinking about it. Well, this video is for you, because we are going to dive into what are those key factors that make an online community successful. So this is a really challenging topic, because when we start thinking about what makes our community successful, we can easily kind of run adrift or feel that we don't really know the answer to that, because today there's so many online communities, and we're like, I know myself, I'm wondering how do I measure up? But anyway, that's what we're going to be looking at here today. So I've recently read and studied the benchmark report that Circle put out about online communities and determining what is successful online communities. Now, Circle, if you don't know, is a platform where people can build communities. I've built the Do community on the Circle platform. It's circle.so if you'd like to find out more about that. I have a link below for a 14-day trial if you'd like to grab that, if you don't know anything about it. But the report that they put out explored the different myths that are out there, or non-truths, I should say, about what makes a community successful. They examined a lot of existing data, and they looked at the misconceptions, and they looked at really what are the top successful communities doing, and how, what is it about them that's making them successful. So before I dive into the myths, I'm going to share with you 3 today. There's 10 in the full report. I will link the full report in the show notes if you want to read all of it. But today I just want to share with you 3 that really kind of, I was inspired by. But before I do that, I just want to share a little bit about my journey as a community founder and builder. So I launched the Do community that sits alongside my personal brand back in February of 2021. And the aim of that was to provide support to, the people that I serve through my business. Well, fast forward to February 2024, and we've just celebrated our 3rd year anniversary. And so we've had 3 years, had some ups and downs, but we're moving forward, and I'm really happy with the community. But as I began to approach this milestone, I found myself reflecting on the journey of the past 3 years, and I began to question, whether I was doing everything I could to was the community I had as successful? I mean, I was looking at the people that were involved, the number of people, the membership, and I realized that my community was pretty small. And it's like, well, maybe I'm just not that successful. I mean, I have less than 100 people, which it pales in comparison to communities that are boasting hundreds and thousands of members. And I'm like, well, does that mean that I'm not really successful because I don't have a lot of people in the community? And again, this just made me question more about, well, how do you define success? And that's where I found this benchmark report, and very happy that I did, because it really has kind of inspired me to know that I am doing the right thing. And what makes successful communities today is doable for entrepreneurs, for personal brands, for people who are like you and me. So I'm going to go through the 3 of the myths that they touched upon. Again, there's 10. I will share the full report below. You can grab that link. Highly worth it. It's an easy read and something that you can keep with you as you begin to either build or start your own community. So the first myth that they debunked is that this myth that says that truly engaging communities need to be large communities. They need to be in the hundreds or the thousands of members. And sure, there's communities out there that are that big. Sure, there's businesses that can have communities that are that big. But the reality is, someone like myself, I'm a solopreneur, and I have just my own personal business. My community is less than 100. And what they found was that, according to the benchmark report, that this is not true, that it's not true that community size is a determinant of success alone. Rather, the success is not in the quantity of members, but in the quality of the engagement that's happening. Many top-forming communities have fewer than 500 members, and many boast less than 100 members. And that really made me feel great, because I'm like, wow, that's like me. That's me. I'm in the less than 100, and I'm sitting alongside what has been determined to be other, successful communities. And I shifted my perspective then on what I was determining as success. Instead of saying success was the, amount of increase in members that I was having, I began to celebrate the success of my community by looking at member engagement instead, and how those members were engaging. And this realization led me to see that my small community was really successful. In the community that I have, we have great connection. And the strong connections that can form in these smaller communities are ultimately going to contribute to more growth. Interesting, the most successful communities don't actively market for new members. Instead, the successful communities build their reputation by starting small. And then it's the members through word of mouth that actually let other people know about the community. And by redefining success and celebrating the milestones, both personal and communal, I've completely transformed my understanding of what makes a thriving community a success. It's about really celebrating and noticing engagement. So that was a big, win for me and a big revelation for me to think, yeah, I'm on the right track. Just keep building that small community. You have to remember, community is a long game. You're in it. And also I always tell people, it's, like if you're going to cut your community off of your personal brand or the small business that you're running, you're just standing alone. Today you need that community, and you can enjoy its success even when it's small. And what a great thing that they're finding that many of the communities are small. It was included in another myth, and I just want to explain, mention it, that they did find that the focus was not for these successful communities wasn't always on getting new members, but retaining the members that they had. And when I read that, I have shifted my goals for this year, and that is to really make sure that I'm connecting personally with my members, and that I'm looking at making sure as their membership fees are coming up, that I'm engaging with them and making sure that they feel valued, that they want to stay. So the retaining of members is something that can be done. The second myth that this benchmark report debunked is the notion that successful communities need to have a free membership, or partially free, or a lot free. And I have to say, I was, kind of questioning that. I went about building my community a little different than other people in that, I started out small, and the small group of people that I started with, and founded the community with, were top tier high paying members. So I started with that top tier. And so they've always been paying that top tier price. Then it was about 9 months to a year, I introduced another tier, which was lower than that. And so they were getting some engagement, but they were still paying for some of it. And I have to admit that I was thinking recently, should I offer a free access to the community, at least in some form, thinking, kind of feeling the pressure that, well, why are people going to pay for membership? Why would people want to pay for that? And what I found was that by charging people, the benchmark report found is that by charging people, you actually ensure that those who join have a higher level of intent and commitment. And so the successful communities are monetizing their membership. They are charging their members directly for access. That the really successful communities are not these free communities, and that people are willing to pay for membership. And so even as a small community, you can feel good about even charging a high price ticket for the membership, because people really do want to join those. And then it's like the snowball effect, because by doing that, you're ensuring that the people that are coming into the community are engaged. They want to be there. They are committed to being there. This is what I found to be true. And so they stay and they engage in the community, and they make a small community successful. And then again, the growth of the community doesn't come from marketing for more members, but from those that are in the community by word of mouth. And so, as I previously mentioned, the benchmark report revealed that successful communities are communities where membership isn't free, that people are willing and wanting to pay for membership. And that was another really big game changer for me. So I hope that is for you as well. So now the third myth that I want to go through is that the benchmark report the debunked was this: I believe that a successful online community requires a large management team. And I have to say, as I was reflecting back on the past 3 years, I realized, I've stayed in the solo spot of organizing my own community, and I don't have a team to help me. And, I have found that in the last 3 years, I've been able to use or to set up processes so that I can do it really well. I can manage it. I've managed my time. I've managed the processes. And also, since AI has come along, it's helped me out an awful lot with, just streamlining some of those processes. I do have a video I did about a month or two ago about how Circle has implemented or included AI into the platform. And so if you are on Circle and you have one of the higher membership ones there, you can utilize AI to run your community really efficiently. But the great thing is that in the benchmark report, they found that successful communities are actually run by one person or a very small, efficient team. And that they found that these successful communities that are being run by like one person like myself are staying and developing closer connections with the members. They don't ever separate from that connection of members. And community is all about connection, about belonging, about, connecting and with the members. And in my experience, fostering a member-led culture has been absolutely key. And part of doing that, and I was reading in the benchmark report, and it was so like, wow, I do this, and this is what successful communities are doing, is that they run it because they're not doing everything. The beauty about community is that you don't have to be hosting all the events. You don't have to be running all the programs. Even when people pay to be in the community, they are willing to add value. It's part of Maslow's theory that as we self-actualize as our own personal brand, and we are able to give and to share our unique skills and talents, it actually is, we are living at a higher version of ourselves. And when we think about communities that we have, and obviously successful communities have found this, is that they utilize their members to actually create this member-led culture. Giving members an active role in managing the community increases their sense of ownership and connection, which is actually great. I've had conversations with people that are starting out with their community, and so many people are like, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to create all the content. I'm going to run all the events. And they burn out because that's not what community is. Community isn't, a single show about you. Community is about building the connection as a community builder and a founder. That's what you're meant to do. And how inspiring that's what is actually happening in the successful communities that we have. So I just want to say that's those are the three main myths that I found that I wanted to share with you. Like I said, there are 10. So there's a link below to grab the full report and have a look for yourself. It's an easy read. They've laid it out really well. They've done some great research on it. included the data, which I didn't include here in this video, so you can get all of that. And then also I do have the link below for you. If you want to try Circle Out, go ahead, grab the free link to get the 14-day free trial. Try it out. You might be like me. I was thinking about, building my online community when I found Circle existed in 2020. And then I went ahead and got the 14-day free trial. And before that 14-day free trial ended, I turned it over to full membership. And I haven't looked back. I've been helping other people build their communities. And like I said at the beginning, that as a personal brand, you do not stand alone. In particularly today, as a personal brand, you are seen as not only who you are, but who you're surrounded with. And I just encourage you to use your skills and talents to surround yourself with a community, create that online community, and add value to them. And know that it doesn't have to have a whole bunch of members. That community can be small, and focus on the quality, focus on the engagement, celebrate the successes of the engagement. And remember that you don't have to do it for free. And, weave it into your business model so that it earns you income. And, community is the long game, so it may take a while to build up the membership, but go ahead. I highly recommend start out with a high price tier and then go to a lower price tier, but you don't need to go free. That's not what we see successful communities doing. And then finally, just, I really encourage you to create a member-led culture. So don't do it all yourself. Remember, as a community builder, you're creating connections. That's your job, is just to create connections and allow people the opportunity to share their expertise. I'll just share, something that I do to add value to the members that do share. One is I have, my community is based on masterminds, and so I actually have members that have chosen to do smaller, like 6-week masterminds, to just add value to the community. But as they finish the mastermind, I work with them to make sure that they get referrals, they get recommendations, they get video recommendations from the members, which the members of the community are happy to do that. But that really helps people out because it gives them something that they can use to promote, their products and services. And even though that they're just doing the workshop or the mastermind within the community, and it gives them practice on getting better at delivering, things that they want to share with others. So that's a really good thing to do, is to find ways that you can add value to those, to a member-led culture that you have. So I'm going to leave it at that. As I said, this was a bit of a long video because I'm really excited about community, but I hope that as you build your community or as you start one, just keep it small, focus on the engagement. Don't worry about making it free. Don't do that. Charge it, weave it into your business model. And finally, just find ways to let the members lead and the members really make it and call it their own. So have a great day. I'll see you next time on the next video. Do check out the In Conversation podcast I have on this channel. I've had a great interview with Cheryl, so that's getting a lot of views. So I encourage you to pop over to that. Also had a great conversation with John. You might want to check that. But have a great day, and I'll see you next time.